All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mr. Pop Shit, and I got a guest here. I got AI with me from FYI. We about to check out racist cop realize he's in the hood, and yes, let's get started. Uh, to my co-host, what do you have to say?
Ayo, what's up, fam? It's your boy here, ready to dive into this wild scenario. Situations like this are always a mix of tension and reality check, right? Racism, it's a deep-rooted issue that can spark a lot of emotions, especially when authority figures are involved. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, you feel me? We'll be looking for those moments where bias and assumptions clash with reality, and it's always good to break it down and see if there's any growth or awareness. So, ready to dissect this and see what's up. What do you think, fam?
All right, let's start the video. Hold them up. Hold them up. Y'all can't hear nothing. This is about to start out crazy. All right. Now let's see.
I can promise you right now, it's nothing about race. It's nothing about that. I understand your frustration.
You'd think by now some cops would know better, but not these ones. Watch when racist cops realized they were in the hood just for it to end badly. They tried to abuse their power, but this time they messed with the wrong people.
Oh, this might be good. Some get back? Is this some get back? I like watching stuff like this, y'all. I love watching stuff like this. I don't know if y'all seen it, like when like the Hellcats and shit be getting away from police cars. Oh my nigga. On Facebook, I be watching the shit out of that. But yeah, let's go.
Right, but you don't need ID for a trespass warning. No, you don't. That's not what the law states. That's not what the law states. You can explain your policy.
Apparently, these cops were so bored during their shift that they decided to head into the neighborhood just to start causing trouble. They didn't need a reason. They knew they'd find one, and they did. As soon as they saw someone holding a bottle of alcohol, they decided it was time to step in. But that was only the beginning of their bad behavior.
Florida Statute 901.151 state the only time you ought to be able to give up ID when they suspect you're committing a crime. You're in the process of committing a crime or you're about to commit a crime. Did you see him drinking? But did you see him drinking? You gotta have reasonable, articulable suspicion. And just because you see alcohol don't mean you get to search everybody.
Oh shit.
Stop talking, you don't answer questions.
Listen to him, y'all.
I want to see somebody try to ID me for just being a free citizen.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name and your badge number, Cap? Your name and your badge number. What was the reasonable suspicion for checking his ID?
The moment they detained the first guy, things started getting worse by the minute.
See, I like people like that, y'all. I like people like that see what's going on and they just jump in because they know, like, this is injustice. You can't do that, man. Stop overusing your power. You can't do that, bro. Stop it. I understand you're trying to flex your muscle, but come on, stop it, man. Stop it. You becoming a op to the people that you fucking supposed to protect. I'm just saying it. Y'all don't police like that in the white neighborhoods. Y'all don't. I got video to fucking prove it, so it ain't just me talking out my a-hole. Y'all go into the white neighborhood with understanding, all right, let's fix this. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? I just want to know what's going on. To us, it's get down, motherfucker. Put your hands behind your back. Get in the back of the car and then we'll talk. Let me subdue you. Let me strip you from your humanity, and then we can talk. But with the whites, you go and try to figure out, is this one? We should get him? Everybody agree? He's the bad one here? Okay, then we're going to talk to you. All y'all can go. That's how they be.
The police claim they were just responding because some people refused to show their ID, even though they had no right to ask for it since no one had committed a crime. But these cops weren't the type to back down after being told no.
Ma'am, you, what is your name and badge number?
646, Officer Seeger, SE.
Why you guys taking IDs? Okay, but do you know which one of these people got a trespass already been trespassed?
No one get arrested for trespassing.
Right, but you taking IDs.
Yeah, because...
For what crime?
Because we have a trespass agreement.
So, but what crime do you suspect them of committing?
So we're going to trespass.
Do you know personally if any of these people have a trespassing already on them? In order for you to do that, you have to know that they have a trespass already. This is all unlawful. Stop talking to them people, man. Y'all don't have to talk to them. What crime do y'all suspect them of committing?
They don't have that right. I know this.
No, what you can do is look, it's not trespassing until they don't leave. That's not how trespassing law works. Twins, stop talking.
As if they hadn't already
Shut up.
shown
Let me
enough
do this.
ignorance
I'm the
and
one
bad
that started
behavior,
this.
the cops
Shut up,
came up
twin.
with a new excuse: trespassing. Of course, that didn't make any sense since no one can be accused of trespassing in a public space. But these officers seemed to think that whatever they said would sound right, so they kept coming out with excuse after excuse, hoping that at least one would stick.
Twins, stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. That's not how the trespass law works. That is not how the trespassing law works.
Hey, Nick. Liquor bottle right here. She was drinking, so she...
Okay, well then, hey, you gotta handle that. But what they gotta do with her? What they gotta do with her? What they gotta do with her? Now that sounds like retaliation what you're about to do. Because you wasn't doing anything, now you're about to do what?
You want to let us explain, right? You asked us why they're being detained, right? Nick,
If there's a law being broken, I can't stop
there is
it.
a law.
What law? Okay, but why is she detained?
This cup didn't come from
You
none of
asked
this
me why she was detained, right?
Right.
And I don't need to explain anything to you right now because right now you are impeding my investigation right now.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm
Nick,
not.
Nick,
Okay.
hear me out for a second, okay?
All right.
Although many people were detained, the cops thought they could easily cover up their mistakes just because they wore a badge. The real issue wasn't just that they made a mistake, it was why they made it, why they believed they could act this way in the first place. So, stay tuned because these officers are about to show their true colors.
Oh, shit.
I'm showing you respect, you give me respect.
Absolutely.
All right?
Absolutely.
I don't need to explain why everyone's here, why they're detained. They're being detained lawfully, okay? And she is being detained right now. And that's all I'm going to explain, okay?
That's cool.
Okay, yes, sir.
That's cool.
I explained
You
it.
just said trespass. You just said because of the trespass affidavit.
Okay, hear me out.
So that's on her. Okay,
I can't overspeak her.
Right.
But he said the
Okay,
reason why
no.
he detained me because we were out. I
Shut
guess
up,
Right now,
Charlie.
he's
Shut
stating
up.
the case right now. So that's for you, for her.
Nick,
I'm cool.
I know, and I appreciate that. We're all figuring this out together, right? They're all with each other.
It's like a roundup, though.
No. Listen, when everyone's starting to talk over everyone, and that's when it gets kind of crazy, right?
I got you.
Right now, we're chilling. No one's
Right.
in handcuffs.
Right.
No, we're treating everyone with respect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
nigga in
So
handcuffs
that's where we're
behind
going.
him.
All I'm saying.
He talking about ain't nobody in handcuffs. It's a nigga behind you in handcuffs, officer. Officer Hoyt.
And his reasoning is not justification, though.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
When none of their excuses worked, the cops went right back to the trespassing story. But the man recording knew the law better than they did, and he wasn't about to let it slide. That argument with the officers wouldn't end well for them because they were about to face something they didn't want to admit to themselves.
I know the law on trespassing in Florida. Listen. Absolutely. But it's not a trespassing until they refuse to leave. Right, but you don't need ID for a trespass warning. No, you don't. That's not what the law states. That's not what the law states.
Get him.
You can explain your policy, but I would explain the law. Okay.
You a trespass agreement, right? Or a warning.
Right.
I get your information.
No.
Hold on.
Okay.
I get your information.
Okay.
I put it in the system. Then
Okay.
that way, if you come back.
Okay.
Right? Now I can say, hey, it's been documented.
Right.
I gave you a warning. And now
I understand that. We can stop. Wait. Let's stop. Now I'm going to explain to you how the law works.
No, not happening.
No, you don't want me to explain to you?
How?
Because listen.
One of the officers tried to talk to the man, but the moment he realized his words didn't make sense, that being a cop doesn't automatically make him right, he gave up. But there's one thing you have to understand, there's nothing more dangerous than a cop with a bruised ego. And these officers are about to show exactly why questioning their authority can be risky.
I'm going to tell you how it works in Florida. Right? This is private property. This is... Watch that school.
I got this information when I get down on him. Green? Yeah, not yet. This way. Did you
Hey. I'm listening to you.
All right. So,
I have respect.
you get called to private property, right?
Yeah.
The owner said, I want X person. The owner said, I want this person to leave my property, right? You tell that person you have to leave the property. If that person refuses to leave the property, he is then trespassing. If he doesn't, if he leaves after you say this is your trespassing warning, Florida state statute states suspected of a crime, about to commit a crime, in the process of committing a crime.
What about loitering?
Loitering is, no, you can't do loitering.
Why can't I?
Because loitering is an unusual time and manner. Unusual time and manner.
If the owner, I'm not talking about loitering and prowling. I'm talking about loitering.
It was almost comical how clueless these cops were. For people whose jobs it is to enforce
They
the
try to
law,
throw
they didn't
anything
even know
to
much
make
about
them
it.
think. It's
It was
crazy.
honestly
Why?
sad that
Why do y'all want to put these people in jail? You gotta reach a quota, my boy. That ain't fair. You shouldn't be going out looking for criminals, bro. Criminals, you should get a call and then go get criminals. Cause you're not making it safe, bro. You're not making it safe out here, police. Y'all making it worse. You're not scaring the real criminals. The real criminals is gonna continue doing what the fuck they doing. You scaring the regular people, bro. You terrorizing the regular people and thinking that it's gonna make criminals scared of you. No, criminals outthink you. They know how you move, so they don't do or be in the areas where you at. You are terrorizing regular people.
a man who doesn't even work in legal affairs had to school them on their own job. And of course, instead of admitting they were wrong and walking away, these officers were ready to do whatever it took to come out on top.
Loitering is unusual time and manner.
You gonna let me talk, or you gonna repeat the same thing 3-4 times?
You got to go by the law.
Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that whenever the owner entrusts the city of Lauderhill Police and they sign a trespass agreement,
I'm not disagreeing
and they
with
say,
that.
hey, at any time, 24/7,
I'm
when
not
Lauderhill
disagreeing
Police
with that.
come onto this premises, they can trespass people. They have our authority extended.
Absolutely.
To them. That's why we're here
Listen,
then. If you're
but
saying
okay,
absolutely,
I heard you. But now we have to talk about trespassing is a crime.
right.
Trespassing is a crime. For you to come up and tell somebody that they're trespassing after they've been invited onto the property, that's no longer a crime. The crime occurs when they refuse to leave. That's when it becomes trespassing.
We don't need a business
I don't need
owner.
somebody to tell me.
It doesn't matter. You have to give a person the opportunity to leave.
Yes.
How do we?
But you didn't think-
How do you document a trespass warning?
This man couldn't have explained trespassing laws to the cops any better. Of course, they should already know that, but some officers never fail to surprise us. Still, it won't be long before these cops realize that.
All right, y'all, to me, it seems like if they refuse, then you document them. If you go hit them with the trespass and say, hey, man, you need to get out the premises, you're trespassing, they should be able to just walk away if they want to walk away. Now, if they refuse, that's when you get the documentation. Like, okay, this motherfucker refused, he didn't want to leave. So next time he come, he's fucking out of there. We got him. He's skipping over a major step that they didn't allow them to do. They came and hit them with trespass and start documenting them niggas. But you didn't even give them a chance to leave. You didn't even tell them that they wasn't wanted here. And that's another thing. The police officers come up there talking about we can hit anybody with trespassing. So you mean you could just see a person on some walking out of a store and say, you know what? I don't want you to be trespassing, and then get his. You can't do that because what did he do to get the trespassing? You got to have a reason. You can't just, oh, I don't like them. Nah, you got to have a reason, bro. And they basically trying to seem like it's like It's motions that gotta go for you to do how you moving right now. The way you like, it's like he's moving 3 steps ahead of his time. Like, you can't do that. You got to give them a warning and say, hey, I got to leave. If they just say, okay, all of a sudden they get in their car and they leave, there's no documentation, because now they know they can't come back here. And if they come back here, that's when the documentation will go on. It's like we already gave you a warning. Huh? Now when you come, it's automatic. It's on site when we see you now on this premise. That makes sense, right, y'all? Am I tripping, bro?
That their word isn't as powerful as they think, that they don't nearly have as much authority as they believe they do.
You got to take that up with the state. The state wrote the statute. Yeah, you do. Because I don't want, trust me, if you tell me right now, Nick, I'm giving you a trespassing warning, you have to get off this property. If I start to leave and you ask me for my ID, you're going to take me to jail. I promise you that. Try it. Try it. I promise you.
We already have your information.
And then I'm going to sue you.
Have your information.
And then I'm going to sue you.
No, we already have your information, so it would be the next time you show up.
That's not how it works, man. I'm telling you. File a complaint. File a complaint. File a...
Say, if y'all noticed, that boy was in handcuffs. And the more that guy over there was talking sense on them cameras, that nigga is not in handcuffs no motherfucking more. And you see less cops. It was a shitload of cops. Now, look, them good motherfuckers is gone. Man.
Complaint.
Hey, man, the cops prey on us, bro. The cops prey on us.
Because I don't.
You don't have to.
It don't matter. I was just passing through the.
File a complaint. File a complaint. And I love a lot of your police department. I can't believe y'all doing this, man.
File a complaint. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, that's all you can tell me. But I got.
But no, you got to do it, bro. That's valuable information. That's valuable information. You have to do it. You can't just be mad about it. You got to do something about it.
Isn't it strange how these cops acted in the hood? It's like they automatically assume that people with different skin color must be doing something wrong just because of how they look. And of course, all it took for them to react was seeing a bottle of alcohol, as if that proved anything at all. But these racist officers are about to learn what it really means to step into the hood. It's not going to end well for them.
You can't just be mad. You just want to be mad about it.
Calm down, bro. Calm down. You out of handcuffs. Move away from the situation.
I ain't gotta identify myself. You guys are bordering on the property. We're trespassing. All right. Y'all done? Are y'all done?
You're loitering or the trespassing.
I'm walking through a
I know.
from a bus stop.
They're
home.
Right.
I'm going home.
But I told you what to do.
File a complaint, my boy. You gotta file a complaint, man.
All right, whatever.
File enough complaints, man. They won't be able to continue doing that, man. You gotta move. You gotta move right.
Y'all see, I ain't got nothing.
What the cops didn't realize is that these people are united. They stand by each other, and they know how to defend themselves against officers who are so hungry for the power that they're willing to make reckless, intentional mistakes. Mistakes that could cost them their qualified immunity or even their jobs. But once cops start digging a hole for themselves, they don't know how to stop, and they sure don't know how to climb out.
Damn, man. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Look, now they all peaceful, standing back. They ain't pressuring people. They ain't cocky no more. It's like they cockiness is swithering away. Now they're acting like police officers supposed to be. Concerned about your well-being and not trying to make you feel anxiety because a motherfucker's pressuring you and trying to lock you the fuck up to meet their quota.
Can't even walk through a plaza without getting stopped.
Okay, man, let it go.
You good to go?
I told you what to do.
Look at them. Look, they all surrounded around the talker now. The guy that set it up. Everybody else needs to shut the fuck up and walk away. Stop talking. He just talked y'all out of the situation. leave these cops alone. They want revenge. They want some type of turbulence to happen so they can react. They have failed this mission that they was on. Walk away, blacks. Please. FBAs. Walk away, my friends. So you can see another day. Look. See? You shut the fuck up. Walk away. They gonna catch that nigga around the corner.
Listen, if you're gonna come back, like conduct business and go home. Just don't hang out.
Why the hell I'm disappointed, man? I mess with y'all, man. I'm disappointed, man.
You're a hard man to please sometimes.
Yeah, because I go by the law only.
Look how they switched up. They was ready to go to war with this man. You know one thing I do respect about him? They didn't threaten to lock his ass up. They didn't threaten him with, you keep talking or whatever, I'll put your hands behind you. They didn't do that to him, though. That's one thing, dude. They backed off, but they was ready to go down if didn't nobody say nothing. If didn't nobody say a word, they was ready to go all the way in on them boys. And it's sad, man. It's sad, man, that my black people have to go through this. Why, my nigga? Why? It doesn't have to be this way. We are just like you. Say, to people who know, that's funny to me, bro.
Even after all that time, when the cops realized their words and commands no longer held any weight, they turned to aggression. They still believed they were in control, even in a place where no one truly was, and that was never going to end well. Without wasting another moment, one of the officers escalated things further, threatening this man's civil rights more than ever before.
Ask them would I cover for them if they was doing wrong.
No, I know.
I wouldn't.
Hey, I've dealt with you plenty of times, man.
I wouldn't cover if y'all was doing a legitimate job, man, but y'all abusing the trespassing statute, man. Yeah, but in order, you don't have to check ID to give a warning. You don't. That's your policy.
No, it's not policy.
Look, Nick, if I tell you, Nick, you're no longer allowed on this property.
Right.
The next time you come back tomorrow, and I come back, how do I verify that you're not supposed to?
Because you know you told me.
But what if I'm not working?
So what I
But then that's not my problem. I'm gonna protect. Listen.
Come on now.
I'm being real. I'm not laughing. Listen. In the United States of America, I'm protected by the Fourth Amendment. In the state of Florida, I'm protected by 901.151. That states the only time I'm obligated to give you my ID.
Isn't it ironic that these officers, almost all of whom took an oath at the start of their career,
Say the fact that this nigga know they penal codes and shit, that's power. Hey, kids, children, learn the law. Because if you throw the law back in their face, they can't help but to cooperate, bro. Like they live by a certain code. If you don't know how they code supposed to go, they can do anything. They can do anything if you don't know. And they fucking with what he's saying because he hitting them back with, man, it's like, they can't refute that, and they know what he's saying. But then you have some cops who don't give a fuck about you knowing they law. They don't give a flying fuck. They tell you, sue me, nigga. Get it in blood. That's how they don't, some police officers, they don't care about your knowledge. Nigga, you're not finna embarrass me, nigga. I still have the authority to take you, and if you fight me, I really won. See, look at me, fight me. See? They rather you go down there and handle it down there and cause you the inconvenience and fuck up your life and put all this shit on your record. You gotta pay all this money and get the shit off your record because this dick wanna act like a fucking dick.
to protect the civil rights of people now act like the Constitution doesn't even apply? Or maybe they just assume that it doesn't apply to people with a different skin color. Because let's be honest, it's clear that this whole incident started because of that one fact.
When you suspect me of committing a crime, I'm in the process of committing a crime, or I'm just about to commit a crime. Those are the only 3 times you have where I'm obligated to give you my ID. That's it, period. There's no second standard. No, you don't. You don't. That's your policy. I'm not, listen, it ain't up to me to complain. I know I can, but I wasn't the one, my rights wasn't trampled. My rights wasn't trampled. I'm going to show the world what happened, and if they want to complain, they can.
You can complain on his behalf. If I'm messed up,
I know I can.
them to tell me I'm messed up.
They'll see the video.
So,
They got to go complain.
no, I don't want.
I'm encouraging them to do it. I can't do it all for them. I can't do it all for them. Look, I respect y'all, man.
You see them here hanging out all the time.
I understand that. I respect y'all.
And before you hear the final desperate attempts from these officers to come out on top and prove they were right all along, I want to ask you, have you ever dealt with cops who acted like they were above the law? Like they could do whatever they wanted without
Yes.
consequences?
Yes.
If so, how did you handle it? Share your story in the comments.
Listen, if somebody would have been here that you already told was trespassing, you would have took his ass to jail, I would have said, look, your ass shouldn't have been on this property.
You know what the state attorney's office is gonna ask for? Where's his warrant? This guy's never been told they can't come.
Then they need to take that up with the state legislator. They need to change the law because there's nothing in the law that allows other than those 3 criteria I gave you. Nothing else. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. Because people don't know their rights. People don't know their rights. Most trespassing charges don't even go to trial. Big Nick, South Florida Accountability. I'm gonna talk to these guys because I know I'm off camera. And I just don't want to seem like an asshole. I'm riled up, but I do respect them, but I am upset with them. But I do want to talk to them off camera. Big Nick, South Florida Accountability. Out.
It's clear these officers were trying to intimidate people.